Hi guys, welcome back. Or if you're new here, my name's Victoria and I'm the mom of a beautiful 4-month-old baby girl, and I gave birth during the pandemic. So today I'm going to be talking about what my postpartum anxiety and depression looked like and how the pandemic affected that. Now, quick disclaimer before I even start, I'm not a medical professional of any kind. So this is just supposed to be my story. If you are experiencing any kind of postpartum anxiety or depression or anything, please reach out to your doctor. So there is a period of time after you give birth where it's called like the baby blues, where it's perfectly normal to cry and be stressed out and anxious and sad, and that's just your hormones leaving your body. What I'm talking about is what happened to me after those couple of weeks. And it all kind of started with breastfeeding. I would cry when I had to breastfeed. I would feel awful. I wouldn't want to do it. All I would think about is that my daughter only depends on me. No one else can help her. And that was overwhelming. I was a new mom. I didn't know what to do with a baby, and now I felt like I was the only one that could take care of it. Now, I am going to let you know this was all going on inside my head. My husband was wonderful. He took care of her. He helped. He was perfect. It's just that in my head, she depended on me and me alone, and that was too hard for me. I wouldn't sleep because what's the point of sleeping? She's going to wake up any second, need to feed. I'm the only one that can help her, so I might as well not even bother trying to sleep. And I was exhausted. I was crying. I didn't want to hold her because I associated holding her with feeding her. And it just spiraled from there. And looking back, I should have seen that as a sign that I should have reached out and gotten help. However, I'm Ukrainian and mental health is kind of a stigma there. They're still not really with it. If you need to reach out to a medical professional for mental health, then you have extreme problems, like you can't function in society, you can't get a job, there's this huge stigma that still goes along with it. It's like I was raised in a household where you feel anxiety, you get over it. Life's hard. Do you have food? Do you have shelter? Great, you're good. So when all of this started happening, I was kind of like, I'm fine. I'll get over it. This is perfectly normal mom stuff. And because I thought that, I didn't reach out to anybody. I didn't think there was anybody that could help me. I didn't think that I needed help. I just thought that this would go away sooner or later. So I kind of just tried to power through it. I'd try to sleep even though I couldn't, and I try to hold my daughter and enjoy spending time with her, and I just assumed that what I was feeling would just go away with time. However, as anyone with any kind of mental health issues would tell you, things don't just go away with time. I continued to do this. I was crying all the time. I was constantly yelling at my husband because I was just so stressed out and so tired. And at one point, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. What do I do? And that was kind of when I started the difficult transition into getting help and not breastfeeding anymore. Now, I want everyone to know I didn't take this decision lightly. Yes, formula is wonderful, but breastfeeding has some extra immune benefits, and people told me it had bonding benefits. You and your kid would get closer. And I just felt like I had to breastfeed no matter what. So I ended up talking to my doctor and my daughter's doctor, and both of them said that me being able to spend time with my daughter, me wanting to spend time with my daughter, was significantly more important and significantly better for her development than breastfeeding. So I started the difficult switch to formula. And it was difficult not because of my daughter. She was super easy. She took the bottle right away, took the formula, no problems. But really hard on me mentally because I felt like I was failing her. Breastfeeding was something I was supposed to do. And if I didn't breastfeed, then I'm this terrible mom. And I just broke down. I still cried a lot. This was the point where I reached out to my doctor and I got on some anxiety medication just to get some help. I just couldn't do it anymore. And we had a couple nights where my husband just took my daughter and he said, I'm going to sleep on the couch. You need sleep. You didn't sleep for weeks. Let's take a breath. So I got a full night's sleep, which helped a lot. The medication helped. And I found myself starting to actually enjoy time with my daughter, wanting to hold her, wanting to spend time with her. And that was huge. I've actually started bonding with my daughter. Breastfeeding never gave me bonding. Holding her and wanting to be there is what caused the bonding. Now, again, this is my story. There's people that have major success with breastfeeding, bond beautifully with their child, and that's great. I'm just saying that's not always the case, and that's not what happened to me. So as soon as we switched her to formula, I started feeling better. I started wanting to spend time with her. My anxiety kind of went down. Now, I am still on the medication for it because it didn't go down fully, but it got a lot better. And I attribute that to finally kind of hitting my breaking point and being like, I can't do this. I need some help. And for my husband for being wonderful and being like, you need to get some help. I love you. We can't do this. And even my mom, I finally reached out to her and I was like, this is what I'm feeling. What do I do? Is this normal? And she, who was raised in that mentality of mental health, oh my God, something must be so wrong with you. Even she was like, you know what? It's 2020. I don't want you to feel like this. Medication is okay. Reach out to your doctor. And that helped me a lot. So that was kind of my turning point, where my postpartum anxiety got so much better, where I wanted to spend time with my daughter, where things just got better. And I wanted to make this video because there's so much stigma there. There's so much you have to breastfeed. How dare you not breastfeed? You're this terrible mother. Why aren't you putting your child first? Choosing to formula feed, if that is what is best for you and your family, is putting your child first. Having a mom that wants to be around her child is putting your child first. You have to be healthy to take care of your child. Breast milk, while it might be a little bit better than formula, is not going to undo any damage that you caused by not wanting to hold your baby and by not being around your baby. So breastfeeding is not the be-all, end-all. If you can do it and you love it, that's great, that's wonderful. I'm kind of jealous because I have a weakened immune system myself, so I would love to give my daughter those immune benefits, but I couldn't. And this video is kind of about me accepting that and realizing that I'm a better mother now that I'm not breastfeeding and that is okay. Something else I wanted to mention was how the pandemic affected this, because that's the whole thing, right? Pandemic mom. Pandemic impacting labor and delivery. How did it help or how did it hurt? So it actually hurt really bad here. I couldn't go and meet other moms. I couldn't go to postpartum support groups. There was a virtual one my hospital had, but it wasn't the same thing. You know how hard it is to talk in a virtual group or to read body language in a virtual setting? So I just didn't want to do it. I think that if I had the opportunity to go to those groups in person and to actually talk about what I was feeling, I would have felt so much better. The pandemic kind of isolated me. I couldn't meet other moms. I couldn't go stay with my parents when I needed extra help. I couldn't do anything. I just was stuck in this bubble of feeling awful and feeling like I'm the worst mother out there and that I'm doing something wrong and that why am I not enjoying breastfeeding? Everyone enjoys breastfeeding. It was me and the internet. And the internet's dangerous. I was on an app where there was a forum and all these moms that had given birth in 2020 and in October when I had given birth were talking, and anytime anybody brought up that they wanted to bottle feed, they just didn't want to breastfeed for whatever reason, people would lash out. They would want to educate them as if we don't all know that breast milk's a little better, as if we don't all know that it can help with bonding, as if we don't all know that that is what you were made to do. Your body's made to breastfeed. We already all know that. women would reach out and be like, hey, I'm thinking of bottle feeding because of X, Y, and Z. Like, I am struggling with this decision. And people would make them feel like they just shouldn't be parents. Like, how dare you put yourself above your child? How dare you not breastfeed? That's the most important part of being a mom. Like, it was vicious. So that was all I was seeing. So when I started questioning whether or not I should breastfeed, the only feedback I got was, yes, how dare you even think about not? And that made my postpartum issues so much worse because it took me so much longer to realize that breastfeeding just wasn't going to work for me and my family. And if it wasn't for the pandemic, I could have met other moms. I could have honestly talked to them about it, and I think I would have gotten a lot more support, and I would have come to these realizations faster. So this video is a little all over the place because I just really kind of spouted out everything that happened to me, but I wanted to leave you guys with a couple thoughts. You don't have to breastfeed if that is not what is best for you and your family. The added immune benefits do not outweigh being a healthy parent, being a parent that is there, that loves their child and wants to spend time with their child. If you can breastfeed, that's beautiful. But if you can't, you are no less of a mother, you are no less of a person, you are no less of a woman. You are not obligated to do anything that hurts your health, physical or mental. Your baby will be just fine if they have to be on formula. Your baby will be just fine if your husband feeds them out of a bottle as opposed to you breastfeeding, or if you feed them out of a bottle. And more importantly, you will be just fine if you have to take medication or if you have to reach out and get some other form of help. Talk to your doctor, get some help if you need it. Do not suffer in these thoughts. These thoughts are dangerous. These thoughts can spiral out of control quickly. I do not want that for any of you. I know this was a little bit of a heavier video, but I thought it was important. The pandemic is hard, and going through something this emotional during the pandemic is extremely difficult, and I just wanted to let you guys know what I went through, and I don't want any of you guys to go through that.